In the pinnacle of the digital revolution, there is but one company that has survived through generations: the National Geographic Society. This is a story of how the world's greatest scientific magazine transformed into a multi-platform digital e-commerce business for hundreds of millions of customers around the world.
We're really focused on talking about change, talking about what's happening in the environment we're in, and we're talking to everyone about that.
The National Geographic Society exhibited incredible agility throughout its history. It was able to outlast industry changes and significantly evolve away from its core business, the National Geographic magazine. But a storm was slowly gaining strength. Print was giving way to an innovative and more immediate channel: the Internet. In the early 2000s, the magazine started to face an unprecedented fall in its subscriber base. John Pahey, its CEO, began a major restructuring plan, but soon the global financial crisis was to strike another, almost deathly blow. A radical redefinition of its strategy was needed if the society was to exist for another century.
So we as National Geographic have been through a lot of changes. I mean, this has been quite a transition period. I mean, we had to do so much to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. If you look at the structure itself, there were two major changes. One being the company going from a non-profit operating style to a combination of non-profit and for-profit one. And the second being Nat Geo going from just purely print media to digital, more emphasis on e-commerce right now, the way it is present in TV, radio, online shops, etc. I think our processes became a lot more flexible in terms of the reporting structures and degree of freedom within the business area. The reward system also improved greatly. But tell me something, what do you think about the leadership within the organization?
We definitely had a powerful leader during this time. Our CEO was John Fahey, who had been in office since 1998, and he was what you'd say was more of a visionary for the company. He redefined our mission, was one of the very first things he did, restructured the whole organization, made it more collaborative and less siloed, thought of new cross-platform events. And when we hit the crisis in 2008, he dealt with this by sending out a survey to all of the staff about how we needed to change the company attitude.
Hey, I wasn't around for that. So what did the survey entail?
The survey was actually sent to everyone at the company, just asking employees what they thought was going wrong. And the unanimous result of this was that everyone thought that we weren't really presenting a single face as one Nat Geo, which is something that we immediately took action on. And that's how we changed from thinking about our readers as merely our readership to actually becoming more of a membership in the whole society. And this really permeated our whole culture as well. And we also began focusing on people's successes by offering incentives, monetary incentives for this, rather than simply punishing failures.
Our team has traveled a great distance for an exclusive interview of the Afghan girl.
National Geographic visionary CEO identified a strategic misfit between the organizational culture and the digital revolution coming. Strategic dissonance have been identified by several companies. However, these companies missed their transition because they did not take the time to redesign their organization in a coherent and global system. National Geographic needed to change many things to renew their organization. Bring collaboration state of mind versus working in silo department. Bring customer-centric mentality and shifting from a process-driven to results-driven culture. An organization cannot run away from its past and its legacy. The best way to make your company more agile is to pull the right levers by identifying where evolution is required. Persistence and enforced transformation help reinventing a 120-year-old organization for the next 120 years.